found in SAFE version 9.0.3 and Web version 9. If I drag in a Windows Explorer, I can take an item, if it's a TIFF or a PDF, and just simply drag and drop it into my left-hand thumbnail section, and you can see that those items are automatically there. If I receive an email from someone and it also has an attachment that I want to bring in with Batch, I can simply drag and drop that into that same section, and those items are added. So that's a nice little convenient way of getting some things quickly into Batch. A couple other things that are new is the ability to zoom into a predetermined section of a document. So let's say most invoices, they'll have the address in the upper left-hand corner. So I can go under Tools and go under Options and say, remember my zoom settings. Now, whenever I zoom into a particular area, it's much more easy for me to see. So now all I have to do is pick a folder that matches that, and I can file the document. When it advances to the next document, it retains my zoom setting so that you're able to very quickly identify the folder for the next item. Let me go ahead and turn that off so I can show you some of the other features. We also have the ability to automatically zoom into an area of a document based on what segment of the title you're trying to fill in. So for example, here's the amount. If I click on amount, whoop, reminds me that I need to pick a folder here. Let me pick a folder. I can click on the amount, and it zooms right into the amount. I pick on the company. I see that it's actually Ziggy Parts, so I can correct that up here. Pick Ziggy Parts. So it makes it very easy for you to come over here, and I can just grab that. And actually, I still had Zoom turned on. Let me turn off Zoom and use my, grab that, it'll OCR that, fill that in that segment, advance me to the next segment that I want to grab. I can grab that, and it'll populate that segment, zoom me into the next section, and I can grab that, and it'll populate the amount. So that makes filling in those segments much easier. You can see that the name is correctly titled. I've captured everything, and now I can file that document. Going one step further, we can further automate that by using our auto-populate segments. So here you can see I've got ABC. I'll pick ABC. I'll hit auto-populate segments. It's going to go through that document where I've defined it and capture and automatically OCR sections of that, or it can capture a barcode and put the contents of the barcode into it and automatically for me. So all I had to do was pick a folder, hit auto-populate, and then file document. The same feature is available in manual as well as template file mode, where I simply select a folder and hit auto-populate. It fills in the segments, and I can file the document. So where is all this magic? Well, to get to it, you can double-click on any of the segment names. So here's company. If I double-click on company, it pops up a panel, and I can do any of three things. I can auto-zoom to a location, and what that's going to do is when I click in that segment, it's going to zoom that image to wherever I define. If I want to OCR something that's part of that, obviously you have to cut in a little closer and just capture the words that you want to OCR. So you can also set up a separate zone for the auto OCR, and I can set up a zone to read a barcode. So on the title here, I'm OCRing the text. If I cancel that and go to the invoice, double-click, You can see this one is set up for barcodes. You have to tell it what type of barcode it is. In this case, I'm using 3 of 9. And just for demonstration, if I unclick and re-click, it'll have me redesignate what zone I want to find that particular barcode in. So you go to your sample document, you open it up, you select the area that you want to look for that barcode. When you hit select, it automatically puts it in to that template, and you only have to do that once. Anytime you call up that template, it will automatically know those settings. Pretty convenient. A couple of pointers. Let me just pull a couple more documents in there. Hang on just a second. I want to make a point here. Drag something else in there. If I look at that and I see that it's Ziggy Parts, and I select Ziggy Parts, auto-populate, fills in the areas, and I file the document. Sometimes you might get ahead of yourself, so let me go ahead and pick a folder that's ABC, and just hit File Document. It's going to go through there and remind me that I've set up one of those segments as required. It's just a good practice. That prevents someone from doing what I did there, where I tried to file it before I actually captured all of that data. It's just a little safety mechanism. The other thing I like to do is if you have some sort of generic segment in part of your naming, if you click on that, it gives you a general zoom. That helps you keep oriented on where you are. So if I go in to click on company, I can see company, but I might not remember exactly where that is on the document, so I can click back in this other segment and look at the whole document. Same with amount. Okay, so I'll just auto-populate, fill that one in, and file it. We've also taken some of the new capabilities that we apply in manual filing mode and template mode and use them in auto-filing mode. So if I go to auto-file mode, I've got a couple of them already in there, but let me pull in some fresh ones. Grab these pages here and bring them in. These are essentially the same template that I was using before. The only thing different is I added another barcode so that it would tell the system what folder that document needs to go into. In this case, I can hit Process Pages. It goes through, and it's actually reading the information from those documents. It's capturing barcodes and going to use that information in the title of the document. So I'm going to open this up a good bit here so you can see how I've titled that. I've generically applied today's date. I've pulled the company name by OCR in it as a zonal OCR off of that image. I've captured the barcode that is there for the invoice number and recorded the number, as well as OCR to the amount. And I did that for all of these documents. And all I need to do is say File to Safe, and it will process and file all those documents for you. So it really speeds up the ability to automatically capture information and properly file things into SAFE. Just to kind of go over where that is taken care of, if you go into Options and select the Auto File tab, what we're doing is we're entering in the data for that title. So let me go into Edit, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Down at the bottom here is where I control how that document is going to be titled. If I click over here on the right-hand side, in previous versions, this is what you had available to you. And what you would do is you would grab some of that and copy it and paste it into that previous screen, and it would read that code to be able to title the document. So a couple of them are pretty self-explanatory. This is going to retrieve the first barcode. This is going to retrieve the second barcode, or you can put whatever number barcode you want to look for. Or I have some pre-formatted things. What's new is these two buttons down here, to where I can capture a barcode based on its X and Y axis. So instead of counting barcodes and grabbing a particular barcode, I can tell it where to look on that document for that particular barcode. Same thing with an OCR location. So if I was to click on that, it's going to ask me to pull up the sample document, and I would simply just highlight where I want to do the capture from, select it, And down here it tells you that it's going to start my segment of OCR at this location. So it's already copied to my clipboard, but if you want, you can still copy it here. And then you paste it into the document title so that you have a complete document title as I showed in the example. And call up SAFE. And the first one is share notifications. Previously, when you shared a document from SAFE to a remote user into the share portal, that user would get an email notifying them that there was a new share item for them to look at. And then on the client side in SAFE, I have my share menu, and I would see that item, if they shared something back to me, appear in this list. What we've added now is the ability for the share portal to send the user that person is sharing a document with an email, letting them know that they have something in share that's new. So if they're not even logged into SAFE or logged into SAFE but not looking at share, they can get this email and be made aware of that they have something new to bring their attention to that has arrived in share. You can also configure it to where that email can be a little customized, and it can tell you who it's come from and what the name of the file is that they're sending you. And the way to get into that, it's a administrator feature. You set it up once for the system, and you do that by going into admin mode. And here's the predefined things that we've already had in SAFE for different emails. And there's two new ones at the bottom here. And here's the you're going to define what the subject of the email is going to say and what the body of the email is going to say. So in this example, we have it set up for the default, which is going to say new shared document from, and then give you the email address of who that comes from. And then in the body, it's going to say new shared document named, give you the name of the document from whoever it is you want to, it'll be coming from. But you can customize this any way you want. You can put whatever text you want, and by using the ones and the zeros, you can indicate the file name or the who is sending it to you. In the past, whenever you copied something into your clipboard, it automatically populated this field. Some people love that capability. Other people were bothered with it because it would distract them. They would see something appear in there, and then all of a sudden their eyes go up there. So what we have now is we have the ability to change that to where you can enable quick search or disable the automatic applying from the clipboard. If you disable that, you're not disabling the ability to do a quick search. You're just disabling the component that automatically copies whatever's in your clipboard into this box up here. So you can still type whatever you want into there, and it will do that search for you. That's a nice little handy feature. Speaking of search, let me go into search and do a quick search here. I'm going to search on car, and it's going to be a full text search. And you can see I have a number of items. Previous releases, we highlighted where it found that search, but now if it's a PDF, when you open up that PDF, it's also going to give you a list of where it found those searches. And when you click on those items, it takes you directly to where it found that hit. So it makes it very easy for you to look for a particular hit within the context of the document. As long as we're talking about search, I want to add one more thing. Now if I'm doing a document search, I can go into advanced, and we added a filter that's called file size. So now I can add some criteria for a particular file size that I want to search for. So for example, I'm going to say anything greater than 100K, and maybe greater or equal to 100K, and I get the results, and there they are, and you can see the file size. I can add other criteria. I can say equal to or less. If I get too many results, I can make that, bump that up to 200. And now I'm getting everything that falls between 100 and 200K. Again, another feature to help you locate items that you're looking for. A lot of people like to email items out of SAFE. So let me take an item here, and here's a test standard document. And regardless if you use the tools or the speed bar, I like to use the speed bar. So I'll drag it over to email. And when I drop it, the subject comes up as test standard. And the reason I did that is because we've got the ability now to configure that to where it can indicate the file name or automatically and or pull a index value into the subject line. So let me clear this out, and you'll see what the default looks like. Traditionally, it would just say emailing documents. But if I want to have it show the file name, I come in here and I go less than FN greater than and set that, and now it's automatically going to pull in the file name as the subject of that email. So when I go into compose the message, it'll put that into the subject. What's nice about that is once I set it, I don't have to keep on resetting it. So let me take a different document, and I'll do the same thing. And you can see it automatically fills that file name into the subject line. We've taken that capability and extended it into the post-processing component of document templates. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up management here real quickly. Here's a template. I'm going to go ahead and edit that. And if we click through until the final step where we have our options of post-creation, in this template I'm set up to automatically send an email to whoever's email address is in index number 11. I could have populated an email here, but let's say I had a folder and with one company and it had that person's contact email. If I went to another folder and another person's contact email, this would automatically put the proper email in there. Or I could have a fixed email in there. There's a number of ways I can set up that email. But in this case, I'm taking whatever email is located in index 11 and going to send that document that I just created in SAFE to them. As part of that, we took that email capability and I can take and put the file name into the subject, or I can put the file name into the body of the email. So it just makes it a little more user-friendly, less generic. You can compose this to the specific requirements. So I think in this one, this is set up for a pre-installation document. So when I do a pre-installation, it'll say pre-installation for review. Please review the attached pre-installation and contact customer support. Comes in pretty handy, makes it easy. That way you know things are getting done and you don't have to remember to email something out as a second step. A lot of times people want to send an email notification that they took an action. And what you can do then is you can set it up the same way. Say, let's say someone sent you a purchase order and you wanted to acknowledge that you received that purchase order. You could set up your system to where when you drag and drop that purchase order into SAFE, the template will automatically have post-creation of emailing that document to whatever you have that email designator set up to. But in this case, they know they gave you a PO. Maybe they don't want a copy of that PO coming back to them. You can send the email without the attachment. So it's a way to use the same tool to notify the users of an action that you took with a document that they sent to you. A couple of things in web that we've done is we've expanded the preview capabilities that we introduced in the last release. You can have preview in a lot more different sections, and I'll be talking about that. And we also significantly improved the performance capabilities, particularly with customers that are having cabinets with thousands and thousands of folders. The web is designed to work over the internet, and you have to design around the inherent latencies of the internet. And so we revised some things in our logic, and we're able to get excellent performance with very large cabinets. And the way we did that was we changed your folder selection section. So now when you click on a folder selection, you get a pull down of folders, and you can select whatever folder you want. We also control how many items are going to come on that particular page. So I believe the default is set to 100, but you can come over here and set it whatever you like, and it'll remember how you set it. So every user can have their own personal preferences. Now, this example, I only had 38 folders, so I'm getting them all within this single window here. I can also change what my sort by and reference indexes are, so that when I go to search for something, I'm able to control exactly what indexes within the cabinet I'm looking for. So if I do a search on demo, you can see that this list filters right on down to 11 items. It tells you over here how many items are in there. I can also change it to where it begins with or contains or ends with or equals. It's just a very highly efficient way of drilling down and finding the folder that you're looking for, despite the fact that there might be thousands and thousands of folders in that particular cabinet. The other thing we did was to kind of give you a little more heads up into what you're dealing with. Under the cabinets section, I only have rights to one cabinet in this demo, but it also tells you how many folders are in that cabinet. So you have an idea of how big of a cabinet that you're actually going to be opening. Next area I want to talk about is found on a dashboard. And this is some of the areas where we've added the preview capability. So now when I click on a folder in the dashboard, a second screen pops up, and I get a display of the documents in that folder, as well as a preview of that particular document that I select. And to exit, I just put click the arrow in the upper right. And the same mechanism works for a folder that has been sent as a scheduled item. Double click on that, get a list of items, click on the item I want to preview, and it loads into my preview. The other area where we added preview works slightly different is in workflow. So let me jump over to workflow. And here's a couple of cases. Here's a folder. When I click on a folder in workflow, because I have notes that are associated with the folder, the layout is a little bit different. Here's my items that are in workflow. When I click on a folder, I still get my notes. Now I get a list of the items that are in the folder, and if I wanted to look at a particular item, I click on it, and a preview is generated below it in the list. And you can see you have the same controls that you have in preview. This works actually identical to bundles. If I click on a bundle, here's the items that are in the bundle. If I click on one of them, it's going to show up here in the preview, and I have my notes as well. Another area where we've improved performance is, let's say I want to import something into a particular folder. So I come over here and I pick my folder and I come over here and say import. Now, in previous releases, you had to do two steps. You had to browse for where you wanted to pick your item to be imported, and then you had to click a upload button to actually upload it. We've assumed that that's exactly what you want to do every time you import, so we've eliminated those steps as separate steps, and we've incorporated it to where all I have to do is click here, it opens it up, I hit open, and it automatically uploads it and takes me into the template selection process. So we've taken a lot of clicks out of importing documents, and you're able to import documents pretty quickly. Wrapping things up here, one more thing that we've added is in previous releases, we introduced the notion of forward as part of workflow. Before you had, reject and approve and put it on hold. Now you have the option to forward it. And forward works logically the same as approve in terms of it moves it in the forward direction through the workflow process. The only thing different is instead of marking it as approved, it's marking it as a forwarded item. So I select an item, I come into workflow, And you can see now that forward is another item that I can process a workflow with. And I stand corrected. I said hold. I should have said reject. That's the other option. So we have approve, forward, and reject. So that's a quick summary of what's new in SAFE and web. And we look forward to talking to you.